Hello everybody, I am Keaton, and this is Kid Catholic, Season 11, Episode 9. I hope that you guys are having an absolutely wonderful Tuesday so far. I know that I am. What I wanted to talk about today is something that I have touched on several months ago, but I kind of want to dive a little bit deeper into it and talk more about it as a whole with you guys, because I feel like it's something that needs a lot more attention. It's something that doesn't get talked about enough, especially with our generation, right? Just last week I talked about our generation and Gen Z, and it's something that gets conflated for our generation and for every generation in general. And this is truth. What the truth is, and more specifically this idea of relativism. Relativism is defined as the doctrine that knowledge, truth, and morality exist in relation to culture, society, or historical context and are not absolute. Basically, relativism is the belief that what is true, what is accurate, all depends, right? It all depends on the time. It all depends on how society works. Something that is true now might not have been true 40 years ago. While that is a very common idea that gets spread a lot, it has a ton of flaws. The truth is the truth. There is no going about the truth. There's no changing the truth. There isn't a my truth versus your truth, and that is especially what I want to focus on for the rest of this video. There is a common belief among our society today that there is a such thing as one person's truth. So my truth may be different from your truth, right? Your truth and my truth may differ. The reality is, the truth hasn't changed for 2,000 years. The truth hasn't changed ever. The truth has been the truth, right? And it's not my truth, it is the truth. For example, this picture right here. If I were to say this is a picture of Jesus, that's not just my truth, that's who it's a picture of. You don't have to believe in Jesus to know that this is a picture of Jesus. It's not like you can go and say, oh no, that's a picture of Mary. No, it's not. That's a picture of Jesus. This is the picture of Mary. That's just an objective truth. That's not my truth, that's the truth. And there can only be one the truth, right? Either this is a picture of Jesus or it isn't. There's no in between. There's no my truth. Either this is a picture of Jesus or it isn't. It's plain and simple. And it is, so that is the truth, right? There's that difference. It's not like that changed based on what the setting was, based on what the context was, based on what society I was in. That is the simple truth. So when we're talking about religion, or we're talking about, modern politics, even movies, right, whatever it may be, obviously there's going to be some stuff that is subjective, right? Like Lord of the Rings is my favorite movie. That is subjective. That's a truth where it's not a truth. Does that make sense? That gets conflated too. It's like, oh, well, it's my truth that Lord of the Rings is my favorite movie. That's not a truth. That's an opinion. There's a difference between truth and opinion. It's the truth that nobody knows what the actual best movie ever is, right? Because it's all opinionated. It's all subjective. But when you have something like religion isn't something that can be subjective. Religion is either true or it's not. It's not like someone can say, oh, Catholicism is false, and someone can say, oh, Catholicism is true, and they're both right, and they're both correct. That doesn't make any logical sense. Catholicism is true. Catholicism is the truth. It is the one and only true religion. Religion is not like movies where it's all opinion-based and subjective, right? Religion, there has to be a truth to religion. It's how it makes sense. The universe had to have a beginning. The universe has to have an explanation. And that truth is Catholicism. So when we use the terminology of my truth or your truth, sometimes we're not using it with malicious intent. Sometimes we're using it just honestly, and we don't even realize what we're doing. But when we use that terminology, we're giving into this idea of relativism. We're giving into the idea that truth is something that can be changed. That truth is something that can adapt based on the person, based on the society, based on the time period. When, in all actuality, truth is something that stays the same. Truth is something that doesn't change. So when we use that terms, we got to be really, really, really careful. Because again, there's a difference between just an opinion of favorite food, an opinion of favorite movie. That's not really your truth, my truth situation. That's a your opinion, my opinion situation. Whereas when we have something like religion, that is the truth. That's not a subjective, oh, well, my opinion is that Catholicism is correct, but that's just my truth. No, That is the truth. And again, I'm not just saying this out of my own opinion. This is the stance of the Catholic Church. The Catholic Church and relativism do not coincide. They do not go together. Relativism is the belief that the truth changes. The Catholic Church's teachings, they have stayed the same for over 2,000 years, and they are going to stay the same, right? Because the truth doesn't change. And so all these people wanting the Catholic Church to make changes to their teachings, to adapt their teachings, all these people who might see the Catholic Church as old-fashioned, that's how you see it, but that's not how it is, right? And that's important to know, because at the end of the day, just because society accepts certain things or sees certain things a different way doesn't mean that what is factually correct changes. That just doesn't make any logical sense to say, oh, society sees it this way, so what is factually correct changes. That doesn't make any logical sense to say that, right? Ultimately, relativism does not work. It has many logical flaws as a whole. The idea that the truth can somehow change, my truth, your truth. Guys, there is one truth. That truth is God. That truth is the Catholic Church. That truth is that Jesus Christ died on the cross for our sins. With many things, there is only one truth. So I would encourage everybody watching to anytime we're maybe talking with somebody about religion or politics, whatever it might be, we have to be aware of relativism and to avoid it. Because relativism, when you break it down, it falls apart because it doesn't make any logical sense. Again, the doctrine that knowledge, truth, and morality exist in relation to culture, society, or historical context and are not absolute. That doesn't make any logical sense. Morality doesn't just change based on what culture it is. Morality is morality. Morality is one way, right? Morality is that human beings are good and you should not harm other human beings. If there's a society that thinks that harming human beings is okay, does that mean that in that society they're morally correct? No, it doesn't, because they are just as morally wrong, because it's harming human beings, right? And so you got to look at those examples and you got to break down relativism and understand why it doesn't logistically work. And so moving on, we have to understand that the Catholic Church does not agree with this, that there is one truth. There can only be one truth about a certain thing. Like I said with this picture can't be a picture of both Jesus and Mary. It's either of Jesus or Mary, and it's Jesus. That is the truth. That is the one truth, right? That's not a my truth, your truth. That is the objective truth. And so that is important to be aware of, especially in today's society when people want changes to be made in the Catholic Church's teachings. People want changes to be made in a lot of the beliefs of the Catholic Church, when in all actuality, the Catholic Church isn't old-fashioned. It's just that the Catholic Church does not give in to relativism, and ultimately, it never will. So now that the topic's done, do y'all know what it's time for now? It's time for
the Saint of the Week.
And today's saint of the week is St. John Henry Newman. Now, St. John Henry Newman was actually recently canonized just a couple years ago in 2019. It's weird to say that was a couple years ago now. That throws me off. But St. John Henry Newman was recently canonized, and his feast day was actually just a little bit ago on the 24th, as of when this is posted a little bit ago. So that is exciting. But St. John Henry Newman, what's interesting about him is that he didn't grow up Catholic. He grew up Anglican, and looked deeper into it and saw that the most closely related church to Jesus Christ was the Catholic Church. So he later converted, and then was eventually ordained a priest, and then eventually became a cardinal, which is really, really cool. He served as the head priest for a parish in Ireland for a long time while he was cardinal. He also was a poet, wrote many poems and novels, like fiction novels, which is really cool. He published about 7 volumes of sermons, and a lot of his sermons and teachings helped to influence later on in the 1960s, Vatican II, and that ecumenical council, and a lot of stuff of how that went was influenced by St. John Henry Newman. But why I bring him up for this is he is someone who went out to seek the truth. And he's a 19th century saint, born in 1801, died in 1890, so he is fairly recent. But he is someone who seeked the truth. Again, he didn't grow up Catholic, but he saw that the Catholic Church was the truth, was the only one truth. He saw that you can't have multiple religions be correct. That doesn't make any logical sense when you think about it, right? And so that goes hand in hand with today's topic of relativism, and how you can't have multiple truths. Like, this picture can't be this picture is a picture of Jesus. It can't be a picture of Jesus and a picture of Mary. It is a picture of Jesus, right? This is a picture of Mary. And so that's the distinction there. But St. John Henry Newman is a fantastic example of someone who seeked the truth and ended up living an incredible Catholic life as a result of it. So anytime we feel like we're struggling to really seek the truth ourselves, or anytime we feel like we're struggling with that terminology of my truth versus your truth instead of just the truth, we can always look to St. John Henry Newman for help. St. John Henry Newman, pray for us. So before you click off this video, I love coming to speak to different churches, youth groups, men's group, women's group, men's group, women's group, parishes across the country. If you want to book me to come and speak, please go to my website, kidcatholic.com, and click the Contact Me page and email me from there, and we can work out details, or email me directly at kidcatholic1@gmail.com. Guys, I love getting to give talks. Please reach out to me about it. It would be absolutely fantastic. Please click the red subscribe button down below and the button next to it. That way you get notified when I come out with a new video. Please comment and state your topic suggestions that you might have for future videos. Please check out my website in general, kidcatholic.com. There's so many awesome things you can do on there. You can read about me. You can contact me. All my videos are up there. Details about my speaking engagements are up there, and the Kid Catholic shop is up there. So go over there to get your very own Kid Catholic merch. Also, please check out 3 of my social medias, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. The link to all 3 of those will be in the description down below. So thank you all so much for watching this episode. And once again, I hope that you guys are having a wonderful Tuesday so far and had a wonderful September overall now that we are getting close to October. So thank you all so much for watching. This was Keaton of Kid Catholic. I will see you all next week, and hi, Brielle.